Hello everybody. The purpose of this video is to go over the qualifying procedures for this upcoming weekend's race of the 6 Hours of Germany. As we all know, running Nürburgring combined, especially with the 24-hour layout as we will be this weekend, the outlap for a qualifying session can be very lengthy. In a 60-minute session, we don't want to be spending most of the time running out laps. We want you to be able to run as many hot laps as you can and timed laps as you can. In real life, the VLN series as well as the 24 Hours of Nürburgring use a very unique system in place to cut down the outlap. Instead of running the entire length of the circuit, they're only running the Grand Prix circuit. We are going to be implementing a similar system for this weekend's race. We will be showing you videos from the chase cam, from cockpit view, and from multiple angles, showing you both the proper procedures on what we're going to be expecting and looking for, as well as the improper procedures that we do not want to see. So we first want to start off by reminding everybody that, as with all other tracks, during qualifying time, if you have a car behind you that is on a flying lap, you will have a blue flag. What we would like to ask everybody is to make sure that you give way and allow these cars to pass as soon and as safely as possible without impeding them if you have a blue flag. Now on your screen, we are currently exiting the final chicane on the Grand Prix circuit before we get to the final hairpin. Right above, you can see the normal entry for pit lane on the Grand Prix section. So what we're going to be looking for is for anybody who's on their outlap to make sure that they're hugging the right-hand side and leaving the entire left-hand side open for anybody who's on a flying lap. As you are hugging the right-hand side, we're going to go single file, no passing. We're going to make sure that we stay to the inside going through the hairpin, and then make sure that we stay as close as possible to the pit wall on the right-hand side of the track as we're going down the start-finish straight until we hit the starting line. So we want to give you a little wiggle room when you're going down the front straight. That way you're not right up against the wall and you have a little bit of room to breathe. But at the same time, we don't want you to be impeding anybody who's coming out on their hot lap, finishing a lap, or starting a new lap. So as you can see on your screen, the Porsche is basically right in the middle, or right in where they would be for a standing start grid stall. If we take those standing start grid stalls, the left-hand side of those grid stalls is as far left as you can go. So basically where the left hand of this Porsche is on your screen right now to the right pit wall is all yours, and you can go as much or as far to the left or right inside that area as possible. However, you cannot go to the left. As soon as you kind of cross over that, we're not going to allow you to complete the next lap or start a new flying lap. So again, as a reminder, as soon as you exit the final chicane where the videos first started, up until this point here, the start-finish line, it's single file, no passing is allowed. Once you pass the start-finish line, it's fair game, you are on your time lap, you can pass. The only thing that we do ask is you won't be at speed with anybody who is on a hot lap, so if you have somebody coming up behind you, do not cut in front of them to try to make a pass and impede them. Just be smart about how everything is going. Now, once you cross this threshold and start your lap, iRacing is going to give you a stop and hold penalty or a stop and go penalty for cutting the course. Since there are 60 cars potentially that are going to be running in this race, it is truly impossible for us to monitor each and every single car and clear every single black flag just by watching them. So you are going to have to play your role, and you're going to have to come to us in Discord, not on the iRacing sim, but only in Discord, and tell us, car 66, we're starting in flying lap. At that point, we will clear your black flag. We will have camera angles set up everywhere around the track to make sure that it is true and that you did your procedure right. If we see that you didn't do your procedure right, then we will say invalid, you're going to have to go around and do another outlap, and then we will clear it at that time. Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, well, I have a black flag, how am I going to be able to complete a lap? Do I have to have it cleared by a certain time, and what have you? We've done testing with this, and we have gone with a black flag of this course cutting black flag all the way until the long straightaway, and we cleared it on that straightaway, and as long as we did not get an incident or a slowdown penalty during the qualifying lap, the lap will register and it will count and it will be official. Again, since there is so many cars, if you are coming to the end of your lap and you still have your black flag on you, again, just come to us, let us know that we missed it, and that you're almost finishing your lap, and we'll make sure that we get it cleared before you cross the start-finish line. So just a quick few reminders. When we come out of the final chicane, we're staying to the right-hand side. You can go at speed. We're staying through the right-hand side, through the hairpin of the Grand Prix section, as well as through the right side of the entire front straightaway until you reach the starting line, and then you can go out and you can start racing your lap. From point A of the chicane to point B of the start-finish line, there is no passing allowed, regardless of class or manufacturers. The only passing that is allowed at that point is cars on a flying lap can pass any car that is on their out lap, because those cars are going to be on the right-hand side. You can just pass them. You're going to go off on your own way as soon as you go leave the Grand Prix section and go into the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife. So now that you know what the procedure will be, and you have seen them broken down in the video as well, we're going to show you 3 consecutive videos at full speed. The first video is going to be the same camera angle that we have right now of a car completing their out lap going on to the flying lap. The second one is going to be the same car showing the cockpit view so you have an idea of what it's like from the driver's perspective. And the third video is going to be from a car that is on track coming from the Nordschleife onto the Grand Prix circuit with a car completing their out lap or taking the shortcut, just so that you know what you could expect if you're coming out there and there's a car coming along. Again, all of these are going to be at full speed, no commentary, but just please make sure you watch and understand the procedures and have those in mind as you take a look at them. Now that you've seen the correct way to do it, the next video that we're going to show and we're going to break down is the incorrect way to do it. Now when I mean incorrect way, if we see you at fault for any of these issues that we are seeing on camera or in this next video, you will not be allowed to start the next flying lap, and we will not clear your black flag. As we see this car approaching the final chicane on the end of their out lap, the first thing we notice is that the car tracks out all the way to the outside curbing, which is incorrect. We can see you tracking out a little bit, however, we need you to get to the right-hand side immediately and as safely and as fast as possible. This allows everybody else who is on an out lap or anyone else on track for you to signal to them that you are on an out lap, and that you're not going to be going out and you're not going to be continuing onto the Nordschleife. As we continue watching the video, you'll be able to see that the car does move over to the right-hand side slightly, but he's not fully over to the right-hand side and doesn't enter into the final hairpin on the right-hand side of the track. As we approach the hairpin, and we'll pause the video for you, let's go back real quick and just remember the video that we showed of the car that was completing their hot lap, as well as we saw the car completing their out lap coming on to the right-hand side. Now, if that video we shown was from the perspective of the black and green Porsche in the current video in front of us, you can see why now we have to restrict how much a driver or a car can go out when coming around and taking the shortcut. We can't allow it to go out any further, because if there are multiple cars on track coming around to complete their lap, they could be passing each other and they need the room. Whereas here, we're going single file. Now, while in this video the Porsche we're following will track all the way out to the left, as soon as he crosses over that line that we distinguished earlier, meaning the left-hand side of the grid stalls on the right-hand side of the track, as soon as he crosses over that left side, that's when we're not going to allow the lap to continue, and that's when we're not going to be clearing the black flag. We want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully now you have an understanding and everything is clear as to what our procedures are that we put in place and that what we are expecting out of you as the drivers. If not, please, please, please ask us on the forums, and either Elliot or myself will be able to help you out 100% and make sure we're clearing everything up. We will briefly be going over this during the driver's meeting before qualifying starts, but we're not going to be going into depth. So please make sure that all of your drivers, or at least whoever is qualifying the car, as well as one other person on the team, watches this before the race on Saturday. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask on the forums or send us an email. We'll see you guys all on race day.